Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Alan Simberg, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about how to build daily habits. Now, it's not like you don't know how to build daily habits, but what I'm actually going to be focusing on today is how to build daily habits in a conscious, intentional way. Now, what's the reason I say that? Well, as many of you may realize, once you have certain habits and certain behavior patterns, they kind of become automatic. When you're in recovery from addiction, what you're actually doing is building new habits, habits that support your recovery. So, obviously, the first step is you have to have the intention of creating new habits. Second step is you have to have a reason for creating the new habits. The reason that it's important to identify why you want to create new habits is because, first of all, it's obvious. You want a life that's better than the life you had when you were active in your addiction. Secondly, you also want to give yourself something to be proud of. You want to be able to create new habits so that you can have the life that you deserve, and also giving yourself credit for having those habits, for creating those habits, will reinforce them being consistent. So the way you would be building these habits is, first of all, you identify the habit that you want to have. And of course, basically what this would be all about is how you can have a daily life that's not draining and not distressful. So, as I've mentioned in the past video, structure and self-discipline is also an important component of building new habits. So, what you need to do is create a plan, create a daily plan. And one of the things to keep in mind is not to try to do too much at one time, not to create too many big habits or even too many habits at one time, because that can become overwhelming and very difficult to be consistent with. So, for example, you would think about what your routine was like when you first woke up in the morning, when you were active in your addiction, and not only maybe certain changes you've already made, but changes that you want to make to that early morning routine. And you can make it really simple. So, for example, there may have been certain mornings that you didn't eat breakfast, and there were certain mornings that you did eat breakfast. Well, in terms of blood sugar regulation, it's important to eat breakfast consistently, and it's most helpful if your breakfast consists of protein, fiber, and healthy fats, or some combination. It doesn't have to be all three necessarily. That will give you a good start to your day. And even have a routine of time to wake up. So you have a routine of when to wake up, what you're going to do next before you eat, what you're going to eat, even planning what you're going to eat. And then just plan the rest of your day in that way. And what you'll notice is once you have that routine, it will give you a certain comfort, and it will help you to maintain your recovery journey. So, as a quick summary, you will be exercising self-discipline and creating a structure for your day. And I just gave the example of a structure for the morning, but do it for the whole day and put it in your phone or write it on a sticky note. You may need reminders because sometimes when you have a certain pattern or a certain habit, it's automatic and you might have to remind yourself. So, for example, maybe you're used to not eating breakfast. So you might need to remind yourself to eat breakfast. So that would be basically the way to build habits, and also keeping in mind to not do too much at one time. Don't try to create too much at one time. Give yourself a chance, create what you think you can manage, and then build on that. And something that is important to remember, and I know I say this at the end of every video, don't ever give up. If you find that creating new habits may be a bit of a struggle for you, just find ways to make it easier, more simple for you, and give yourself credit for all that you accomplish. In my next video, I'm going to go into more detail in terms of how to build daily habits that support addiction recovery.